I feel like we've had so many conversations about this movie, and it hasn't even come out. It's been in development hell for a long time, and they did massive reshoots. It finally got done. Guys, when it's all said and done, when you look at this movie, they have spent, now I'm not even kidding about this. Ready for this? Brace yourselves. $269 million on this movie. 269. That's a massive thing. And they're only projecting 63 to 70 million opening weekend. And it's because, again, I mean, politics aside, because Zegler gets a little political and she starts going after the fans. That's always a problem. Here's a conversation we always have on Cruise Control. It's like, you're a brand, when you're an actor, you're a brand sometimes. And you shouldn't attack the fans. When you attack the fans sometimes when a movie's not even out, it just kind of like tanks the box office. It happens all the time. She apparently was kind of fighting with Gal Gadot over some topics too. And I liked her. And I saw a West Side Story. She did a great job. And I've seen her in other things too. And I think she's a great actor. I just think that when you start attacking the fans, look what happened for Amelia Perez too. Going after fans, what happened to her? She was up for all these. She's still up for the Oscar, but she's not going to win, I don't think. The thing is that the bad press, they shut it down. But this movie itself, now she's spitting the bad press, and she's pretending like she didn't say. I really hope this movie does well. I like Snow White. I don't want it to go bad. I don't want it to do bad. They had the reshoots with the Seven Dwarfs. They changed all that. They were supposed to have them be like not dwarfs before and make them all different variations of like people from all walks of life, and there was a lot of backlash from fans about that, so then they reshot a bunch of things to actually make it like appropriate to the context. But she came forward and said, I'll interpret people's feelings about this film as their passion for Snow White. And it's an honor to be a part of something for which people are so passionate about. That's what they keep talking about. We're going to love that. We're going to have the same sentiments around the world, and all of us are going to give our best to this project because the fans are so passionate. And she's like, it's exciting that people are so... They're talking about this. They love it. They're excited about Snow White. It's like, no, they're talking about it because they're like fighting you because you're fighting them online. And that's why people, and now she's trying to redirect it because the movie comes out next month, and it's like, I want to do well. I don't want to trash talk her. I don't want to trash talk anybody. But when you start fighting the fans, it becomes a PR nightmare for the studio and for you and your career. And that's what she did. She dug a hole and she's trying to get out of it now and ignore that she dug that hole. And I don't think it's going to work. The fans are not going to go out and see it after this, and I hope they do, because I do think that Snow White's a great telltale story of Disney for years. I think it's something that could be beautiful on script or on screen, and I just don't know if people will watch it unless it's streaming on Disney Plus because of all the backlash. I just don't think it's to work out as well as I think it would. I know Laura's got to take it. Let's go to GR though first. GR, what do you think about it? Does she put her foot in her mouth? Is that why this is happening? Or do you think that she feels sincere about what she's saying right now?
I think she's full of shit is what I think. I think it's another classic case of an actor opening their mouth and not putting one foot in, but both of them, Brian. And this movie is going to bomb because the young person couldn't keep her mouth shut.
It's Gal Gadot too as the evil queen. I think she's gonna be fantastic. I think she'll give it her all.
She'll be the best thing in the whole damn movie.
Oh, did you see I don't know if you saw like her as like all done, which she's like, yes, there's the apple. And she's doing that. Like she looks creepy.
I scare you, dear. And I love it.
It looks great. And I even like the trailer. I know people hate on the trailer a lot, but I just think that this is like bad press and bad press. They say no press is bad press, but like this is just bad press that people are just going to boycott it. And it could be like a War of Rohirrim thing where it just like does better on streaming than it actually does in theaters. Will you go see it, GR? Is there any chance in the world that you'll go see it?
FFC, Brian.
Fat fucking chance.
Yeah.
I'm getting him down, GR. I'm getting him down.
Because I was so funny.
Laura, this happens all the time, and it's like I think that it's probably her PR team, but also her trying to just get out of this hole. I'm happy she's not digging deeper because some people like I saw like the thing about Amandla from Acolyte. They did that Disney Plus Star Wars show, and Amandla went after the fans so much so that she like did a rap making fun of the fans, and it only tanked the show even further. It was insane. Like she's like. She's calling all the fans trolls, all the Star Wars fans and stuff, and I'm like, that's not helping your scene. At least that Rachel's not doing it.
You piss all the fans off. Who's gonna come see the movie? I don't like what.
I don't know. How do you think that's going to help you at all? Do you think that this is a good thing that she's actually kind of redirecting it this way, or do you think that maybe it's too far, too gone?
Hey, it's probably too late. I mean, was it a race issue? I missed the chatter about this.
Yeah, it was about the war in Palestine, all that. You know what I mean? She got into that. Yeah, she got into that. And
Damn mouth shut, you guys. If you're a working actor, I'm sorry, you don't get to have opinions. You just don't. You don't get to have opinions. I have a lot of opinions about that. It's affecting my family, but if I was heading up Snow White, I don't know why I would be talking. Unfortunately, that's the way this career works. That's the way this world works. If you want to go into politics, become a politician. Become someone who deals with policy. Don't become.
And then you can lie all you want.
Right. I mean, to answer your question, Brian, I do think this is just PR team. I had the exact same thought as you. I think it's her PR team being like, okay, here's what you need to go out and say. I don't think she actually means that. I think she's probably very upset. And we're all allowed to have opinions, just not if you're a huge actor in a brand new movie coming out. You just don't touch that stuff. When will we learn?
And a big thing like this too, Snow. I mean, I would say the Disney, kind of reboots of the cartoon, the animated ones haven't done as well as you'd expect them to do, but they still make money. And it has a built-in audience. And I know Disney is very, contained when it comes to it. They want to make sure they cover everything. And I think we talked about a little bit with you. I'm not sure, but the Amelia Perez thing, it's like what Gascon did too. It's if she would have just she's going to the Oscars, by the way. She said she's going to the Oscars. She's making Netflix pay for it, even though she stepped away from everything else. But she didn't listen to her PR team and just start blasting people online. And then you just dig a hole deeper. And not to say that you can't have opinions as an actor, because actors can. But your representation of the studio, of the film, you sign a contract a lot of times that say you can't say certain things unless they're cleared by your PR team or the studio. It's just legalities when it comes to it.
You're affecting all your other cast members. You're affecting everyone who works in the movie. I mean, it's not great. It's a tough thing. I do feel like you should be able to share your opinions, but maybe keep them away from your movie. It's weird. I have at least wait till the movie releases. I don't know. I mean, I also don't feel like if this does tank, we'll be able to entirely blame her, because you also have Gal Gadot attached. You have Greta Gerwig. I think some people are questioning Greta Gerwig's direction with things because they didn't like Barbie, which I don't know what to say about that. I liked Barbie. I actually think it's really good, and people were like, oh, For America's speech was terrible. It's Barbie. Just go, pay attention to the themes. I think the people that didn't like Barbie didn't understand Barbie. That's my opinion about Barbie.
Yeah, I thought Barbie was a fine movie. I wasn't over the moon about it, but I thought it was a fine movie. It was very well done. The cinematography was great.
The art department, the cinematography was fantastic.
Art department was fantastic. There was a lot of funny jokes in it too. I think what Margot Robbie did was amazing. I do, I think she was a perfect Barbie. You could have just pulled that doll out of the box and it's Margot Robbie. How she portrayed it.
It's
Perfect.
really hard to touch anything political. I like that movie because it examined toxic men and toxic women. Because Barbie was toxic in that towards Ken, and if you couldn't see it, the writing's on the wall. I don't know, and people just didn't. I felt like for a lot of people that went right over their heads. But I think that makes people question Greta in her films, and I think her attachment to this is probably having some people who didn't like Barbie hesitant to go see Snow White.
Yeah, and then also she's doing. Did you see she's doing the wardrobe? The wardrobe? Oh, what's it called?
The wardrobe.
Yeah, she's doing that. Yeah.
This is interesting that she's dialing back to all these almost fairy tale kind of movies when she did Barbie. I just can't tell what her genre is. I mean, maybe she's trying to regain some range doing these, because they're not, I don't know. Barbie is a very sex relevant, political relevant, I don't know, gender rights. It's interesting to then kind of dial your career back and just be I'm going to do some fairy tales.
I'm gonna do, and she's doing 2 or 3 of them too. So it's she's doing all of them. So
very clear. That might be her agency. It might be her agents being we want you to do these after Barbie, but it's an odd move for me. Career-wise. I would think
El Santo, you're right.
Loftier, higher art.
Yeah.
It's not.
You think it'd be something like an Oscar-worthy type deal, but it's
that's what I'm saying. Like I would
her
think
and Daniel Day-Lewis, like, and he's like, now he's working in the mean streets of the meat factories, and he's like a butcher or something like that, and I don't know, something different as opposed to like the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. We've done it how many times?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love a good fairy tale. I'm all about fairy tales. I just think there's a lot of, after Barbie gave her the platform, like, why not go bigger?
Good point, Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. GR, what do you think? Okay, I mean, honestly, she's the way that she stepped into this, and like, this is a big opportunity for her, GR. I know she's done, we saw West Side Story. I know people were talking about that in the chat too, but this is still like a big thing. Being Snow White, I think that's massive. Are you surprised that Disney didn't shut her down faster when she started opening her mouth about all this?
Yeah, very much so, Brian. I mean, as we said with the other, when we were talking about the other young blonde, excuse me, sorry, I got all choked up over that. Mm-hmm. The Legally Blonde thing, that actress is perfect for the cast, and if she keeps her mouth shut, she's going to be a star. Yeah. This one was, as we said in the old days, SOS, stuck on stupid. She kept opening her mouth and saying things. And as far as I'm concerned, her career is done.
But as Laura was saying too, do you think this is like her PR team came in and they were like, okay, this is what we got to do. The movie's about to come out. So here's what we got to do. We got to do some damage control or you're pretty much going to be done with us. Do you think that's kind of what happened?
I don't doubt that for a minute. I mean, they're all freaking out going, oh, God, you're going to cost us millions. And she has.
I mean, it could. There's also more to say about that, though, too, because I think there is a lot of people that have been kind of like sour on these. Like, I mean, Mufasa didn't do as well as they wanted to. It did well, but didn't do as well as they wanted to. I think that people have kind of gotten sour on this, like, whole, let's redo these animated movies in live action. And I think people are like, it's kind of like a cash grab in a lot of ways, I think. I think they could be fantastic, but
I think these are just what you said, Brian, cash grabs.
Yeah,
because most of them, I've seen a few of them, they suck.
Yeah. I still find joy in them somehow, GR. Even Aladdin, like, I know people like Will Smith. I'm like, I got it. You can't have Robin Williams. Let's go completely opposite and have Big Willie style be, the genie. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. I laughed as him, is it?
I'm like, sure you did. I'm sorry.
If they could have, Laura, you'll probably agree with this. If they could have, they would have used Robin Williams as the genie in there. If they could have.
Oh, yeah. Oh, why would you? Don't fix it if it's not broken. What?
Yeah, they just couldn't. Oh. He signed a contract before he died saying they can't use his likeness for 20 years. So Disney wouldn't do something like that. So nobody would do that.
For them.
No, but wait till that 20-year thing's up. You'll get, I'm back again. It'll be just like that again one more time, And
you're lucky it's not Friday, Brian.
I ordered Robin Williams one time, and it made me smile for like the rest of my life. So I'm happy I got to meet him before he passed away, because he was just like that. What a great actor, outstanding human being. I can't talk any bad word about him. He was like, second team, second team. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you much. I was like,
Brian, according to the rules on Friday, you're opening the show with about 10 drinks.
Yeah, we're not Friday, GR. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. But
it's close enough. We're marking them down.
Okay, you can't tally them for later, GR. You can't tally them for later, man. It's on the spot. It's live. We're live, GR.
As your technical director, I'm allowed to.
Well, that's a deeper conversation for later. Laura, anything else to settle before we move on from this about Rachel and the whole situation over there at Disney?
I'll probably see the movie. Like, I do. I like that they put a lot of money into it. I hope the magic's really cool. Like, we have all these cool effects now. Like, Wicked was fantastic, and I think a lot about. In Wicked, there was all these cool technical things. There was a lot of like opening wardrobes and shutting wardrobes, and everything was in time. And it's a musical, so it'll be fun to see. This is a musical, right? I think they're doing a musical version. Yeah.
That's where they cast her too, I think, because they're singing,
Yeah, and I'm very hopeful for it. I do think it's really interesting to have like a brown-skinned Snow White, because isn't her name?
That was a big backlash. That was a big backlash too.
That was kind of my question. It's kind of like, who is it? Samuel L. They were going to cast an X-Men as Magneto.
There was Denzel Washington apparently they're talking about, yeah. But that was like the whole thing about like, being the Holocaust survivor. It goes into a whole different world, when you look at the backstory of that character.
Yes, yeah, that was really important. But like the whole point of Snow White is that her skin is white as snow. Like I am really open to switching races on characters that I don't feel like it's relevant to the character. But when it's a piece of the character, can we just diversify the rest of the cast? Like, I love Gal Gadot being the evil queen. There's just a million other characters you can play the diversity game with. When it's relevant to the character's identity, it just really confuses me. I'm like, why do we have to try that hard? Like, that's like being like, let's cast a male Snow White and make it like a homosexual story just for the fuck of it. Like,
GR bought that ticket already. GR bought that ticket yesterday.
Hell, I'm gonna be a co-star in that one. What the hell?
I just think it's so forced. When
get it, Snow White?
Like when the character has a specific look or a specific ethnicity, or like, okay, leave that one character alone and make the whole rest of the world diverse. It feels forced and like too snowflake-ish, and I'm a moderate leaning left, so I can say snowflake without being ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, it's a big change, and I think Disney has been trying to do that with all these reboots. They did it with Little Mermaid as well too, which there was a lot of backlash. I think Haley did a great job still, but I know there was a lot of backlash about our Ariel in there too. And it's like they've been trying to do that with these changes, and sometimes people just don't go see it because of it. But I think it's a sad thing because these are great stories. These are great stories, and it's so simple.
And if you want to change Snow White, then just write a whole new story that's reminiscent of Snow White and cast her as though, like, why isn't the whole story taking place in Mexico then? Write the Mexican version of Snow White. Like, you can do that. I just don't really... I don't know. Like I said, it feels forced. It feels like it's like a woke thing, and it's so like, what does it? I don't know.
Does it have to be? It doesn't have to be. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be in that.
It's square peg round hole. There's a lot of white girls that can play
Queen.
Snow White, and you can cast.
You see what Queen said?
Yeah,
other fairy tales to ruin.
Internally, Queen. I was like, yep, correct. Like, I don't know. It's odd to me. The girl's beautiful and she's super talented, and I'm all for it, but there's a lot of white girls that can sing out there. I don't know. It's just really weird. It's weird to me.
You know it.
Yeah.
All right, Peps. Yeah. I agree, and I think that they could have, but there's this whole movement that kind of happened at Disney. I think that'll be changing a lot now because they kind of been like, these movies haven't done as well. I wonder after they spend almost $300 million on this, if it doesn't do well, I think they're really going to start maybe assessing that. We'll see. I hope it does well. I really love Snow White. I think it's a great tale, but we'll have to find out what happens next. And it comes down to the audience. Will they come out and watch it? Are you going to watch it out there? Everybody let us know because we want you to keep us posted.
Apparently, our viewers have basically written it off.
Yeah, a lot of people have. They pushed this multiple times. So, I mean, a lot of people have. They had, again, massive reshoots. They had the whole Peter Dinklage thing where he came forward and was mad about how they were using dwarfs, and they change it, and they change it back. And it's like a whole thing. So that's why it's only called Snow White. It's not called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs anymore. It's just called Snow White because they're getting away from that. It's just, things change and, throughout time it does. But like a story is a story. You're rebooting that story, do that story. People will come to see that movie,
Yeah. Or, I mean, if you're going to go all the way, just culturally embrace the whole thing and put some like Latin flavor in it. I'm not opposed
to change the whole thing.
Like changing stuff. But like, I would rather see an original story then. Just tell me a new story that's reminiscent and has the theme.
I mean, the story is Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. You tell me there aren't some vertically challenged individuals working in the industry? Come on.
fun.
Well, that was a whole thing that, like, you know, Peter Dinklage came forward. But then a lot of people who have not been working were like, hey, why are you taking these jobs away from our community?
You're taking opportunities away from that community that's been fighting so hard to get some roles. Like, come on, don't take the ones that exist away.
Yeah, that's like a built-in, like, oh, we're for sure going to have opportunity here. They're like, you know, to do this job, and then it's just gone. But they did update it. They changed it. I just don't know. It looks like a lot of CG to me. So we'll have to see if it's any good. But, you know, it's
ruined the story.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.